Hello, welcome to Student Assessment and Support Plan by Jeanette Tinworth. I'm going to be talking about the student from Uganda that was featured on our homework assignment. I decided to give this student a name. I found it easier to talk about her if I gave her a name, so I gave her the name Zahara after looking up common girl names from Uganda. So to talk about Zahara, she was recently adopted from Uganda. She's in grade 4. She learned English at a very strict Ugandan school. She's not alone. Her sister was adopted with her. She likely can read and write some English due to her exposure in the Ugandan school. Although she can read, she still struggles with vocabulary and needs to help with translating words. She needs some differentiated learning in the classroom. Okay, I'm going to talk about some first steps that Zahara will need to have proper service. Some of her strengths are that she has learned some English. She has also learned the alphabet and she can decode. I'll talk more about that later. She likely has supportive parents. The reason I say that is because parents who are willing to go overseas to spend the time and the money to adopt a child probably are very excited to have that child and want to invest in her life. I'll admit that I am a mom of a child who's been adopted from overseas, and I know that that is most likely true. Another strength is that Zahara has parents who speak English, so it will be easy to confer with them. It will be easy to communicate our needs and wants with them. She was adopted with her sister, so she's not going to feel completely alone. She'll have someone familiar with her. She doesn't have the appearance of culture shock, and I am going to add she may have other symptoms of missing her home country. Sometimes that's not always easy to see. I would like to know a little bit more about that. Some of the struggles that Zahara has. Her school experience was quite different in Uganda, and she may have had some negative connotations towards school. She needs extra guidance and teaching to retain academic and social vocabulary. Because her vocabulary is not strong, her ability to read is most likely simply decoding. Her comprehension is going to need to be built. Finally, she may have some struggles with changes in the culture and or the weather. Having her sister close by will help. There are a lot of things I would like to know about Zahara. I've listed some of the main ones. I would like to know what Zahara's home language is. I looked up languages in Uganda and there are several. It would be helpful to know what her home language is to be able to support her best. Also, does she read and write in her home language? That's another thing I'd like to know. Second, Zahara can read well, but how much is she actually comprehending versus how much is she decoding? Now, I mentioned this in the previous slide. In my district, we use PM benchmarks to test for that. There are many leveled books that come with comprehension questions. Zahara would be at the highest level that she can both decode and comprehend accurately. I would like to know what her PM benchmark level would be. What are some of Zahara's interests? What are her likes and dislikes? I would like to get to know her a little bit. In order to be an effective teacher, you have to build a relationship. That would be something that I would want to do right from the beginning. And then finally, I would verbally ask her parents if I could test her to get ELL support. After getting verbal permission from her parents, I would first give Zahara an IPT English test in both oral, writing, and reading. These are the tests my district uses to test and monitor our ELL students. We use these tests for yearly monitoring and for new ELL students to see if and how much support they need. I like these tests because they aren't culturally biased and can be used for children of any background or race. An IPT test will help an ELL teacher measure the student's ELL level. Another part of determining the ELL level is talking with the classroom teacher. Zahara would likely be higher in her oral English skills and lower in reading and writing. I believe, based on the evidence at the School Experience Project, that she's quite good at decoding, but still struggling with comprehension. With writing as well, she's likely low since she's still learning vocabulary. Again, I would like to know a little bit more. The description of Zahara is like a grade 4 student I work with. He can converse well in English, but has limited vocabulary. Below are his AIP levels. I believe Zahara would likely be similar or possibly 1 or 2 levels higher in reading and writing, maybe a level 2 to 3. After an IPT test to determine that Zahara is in fact ELL, the next step is to send a letter of consent home. Parents need to sign this letter to allow her to be on the 1701 list, which is a list of each school's ELL students. After getting the signature, she can be added officially to the 1701 list of ELL students in the school. These are the students being serviced by the ELL team. I would need to put together a blue file for her. The blue file is where we keep all her ELL testing permission and AIPs. It goes inside her official school file.